Good morning, campers. It's Saturday morning. What are you doing? It's time for camp content. Strap in, put your seatbelts on, and no licking the windows, please. We just had them washed. So, welcome to camp
On the
content.
bus, yeah. Like Doyle rules.
Can't wait till
I just watched Billy Madison the other night.
watch my
The bus
cartoons.
driver hits the banana and they fly off the cliff. Doyle rules. Doyle rules.
Let's hope this episode doesn't go off a cliff.
No, they never do.
They never do. That's
Never.
true. That's very true.
Never.
Especially this episode where we're talking about another one of our favorite tools. Do we have a drum roll sound effect?
I know. Welcome back to Camp Content, where we are talking about content marketing and how all content is SEO, and then we all actually work for a robot. So strap in, kids. Because,
Deal with it.
You know, the other day, my Roomba was like bouncing around and making all kinds of noise and like kept getting stuck in this one place. And I was like getting really annoyed by it. And then I realized that like I too am a robot working for dirt and I should probably just reel that in. So yeah. What do you do? So all content is SEO, right?
Truly.
All content is SEO. And one of the biggest things that we see with our podcast clients, or not even our clients actually, because if they work with us, we take care of it. But when we're looking at other people's podcasts, the show notes, the description, the key takeaway, and the transcription and the timestamps are always the first one to go, right? It's the first thing people skip if they're producing a podcast themselves. They don't have a budget. They don't have any help. They're like, I don't have time for all that. And I get it. It can feel a bit overwhelming for sure. It's another thing to do. As a company, we have struggled with how to get that done without it. You know, it's just difficult, right? But all the search engine optimization is in the SEO content. It's all about like the description, right? It's all about the episode title. We've talked about this before on another podcast, but your episode title and why you need to have keywords in your episode title and not the episode number and things like that. Well, the transcription and everything else is the same thing. Like everything you put in that description and the key takeaways, especially when you're uploading it to YouTube, is all the metadata in which how your content is found. So it's super, super important. So we wanted to talk today about a tool that we've been using for a couple of years now that we love that could really help. Now, Riverside, as we mentioned, does transcriptions as well, but we use a different company and we found a lot of really great results with them. So I'm gonna let Matt take it from here.
Yeah, we use Trint. It's fantastic because, like we said, we do a lot of show notes and transcripts for our clients. So, once that final audio is completed, I take that WAV file or that MP3 file, just pop it and there's so many integrations, right? Before I jump into all that, if you just go to Trint.com and look at it, you can, integrate it to Google Drive, straight to Slack. So send a Slack channel message when a Trint transcript is ready. Upload a new Google file to Trint. So I can just put it in a folder in Google Drive and it just uploads it to Trint. Boom. You can create a Trello card when a Trint transcript is ready too. So, our process is that I'll take this final audio, I'll pop it in that Google folder, it goes to Trint, and I just get on a Trello card. I tag our two, transcript and editors and SEO experts and whatnot, Lord and Lay, and I'm just like, hey, this transcript's uploaded to Trint, and they go through, they edit through, make show notes out of it, all that good stuff. Because if you're looking at it's really easy in terms of the show note stuff. So if I just click on a random one here and, I'm listening through and I see something that's kind of important that I like, I can just click on this random part and it takes me straight to the timestamp is 32:40. Boom, right there. If I just click on this word, or boom, I can go to the search bar, type in, hey, they said something pretty interesting in this episode. I don't know, remember where it was. Embargoed, lightning round. When was the lightning round? I type in lightning round, boom, 56:38 on the dot right there. And it's just such easy stuff. And then the export features and everything, it's just great.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
and I really, sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
No, go ahead. You finish and I'll take the next one.
Well, yeah, I was just going to really touch on that Google Drive integration because that's such a huge, huge time saver. And from what I've seen, like, we looked at a lot of different services and a lot of them use the back end engine of Rev for the transcriptions, which is like pretty well known, but they're very expensive. So Trint has worked out some sort of a deal with them. So it's like much more cost, or less cost prohibitive. It's like a affordable service to use. But from what I can gather, and I even talked to Riverside about this, is that Trint is the only one that has the Google Drive integration. And a lot of people integrate with Dropbox. But here's the problem with Dropbox. If it's text, it's fine. But with video, it is not good because sometimes it adds like this tiny sliver of a nanosecond delay on the video. And so people that work with a lot of video know this, and everybody loves Dropbox. And I say we don't use Dropbox because when we did, we were having a nightmare with it because we would edit our videos and then we'd look at the final product and realize, oh my God, it's off by like a tiny sliver. So there's a slight delay. And it was totally Dropbox doing that somehow in the configuration. So we only use Drive for all of our content. And the way Trint works is you link a folder. So when Matt finishes the audio, he literally in Drive says, make a copy. And then he just moves that copied file into the Trint folder. And then as soon as it arrives, Trint is aware, transcribes it, puts it into that folder, and then sends a notification on email and to our Slack channel saying your new Trint is ready. That's time that Matt didn't have to download the file from Drive, then go to Trint and upload the file. He literally like copy and move, and that takes 2 seconds. So I have to say, like, there's a lot of great transcription companies out there, but they're the only ones as of 6 months ago anyway that had that Google Drive integration, which has saved us hundreds of hours of time just uploading and downloading, which time is money, man.
It is.
And transcripts are so valuable, right? There's so much value in the transcript. And we have a term here at Heartcast Media. We don't like to say repurpose your content, but we like to say leverage it because there's so much more you could get out of it. And that's really the case when you create a transcript. You're not only going to very easily be able to get a show description and all the other things Molly was talking about that people sleep on in their show descriptions, the key takeaways, the quotes, chapters, all the ideas for that. You pull it right out of the transcript. It makes it super easy. But think about all of the social media content you can get just off of the transcripts. You can come up with ideas for texts for your posts, videos. You can chop them up into short videos, static graphics you can make out of it, engagement posts. Hey, what do you guys think about this thing we talked about on the show? Yes or no? And there's all your social media content for the day. Just rinse and repeat, just general ways to optimize your searchability too, right? Because people got to find your content. So all the keywords you need are in there. All the tags that you want to put on your YouTube channel are in there. Like all the information to optimize your show or your content, it's all going to come from that transcript. And so just by creating that, drop it into Jasper or ChatGPT or whatever it is that you use, it could write you a show description. Like you could be that lazy and just demand that the AIs do everything. And all you really need as your starting point is the transcript.
And you need to edit, right? Like we use Grammarly. Now, I will also say
they're not always perfect.
But here's the thing, right? I can't remember the stat, but it's like 80. Like the transcription only needs to be like 80% accurate for it to be like acceptable, even by like the Department of Education, right? So that if you've ever watched anything, even sponsored by the government, if there was like closed captioning on it, was spelled wrong all over the place. So
even
it doesn't
Netflix
have to be
messing it up sometimes, man.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be accurate. It just needs to be like close enough, right? It's like those memes that like the letters are backwards and missing, but you can still read it anyway because your brain can process it. Like you.
That's right, AI. You hear us? You're not perfect. You're not perfect, AI.
Yeah, they just broke your air conditioning in your house.
Can't get rid of us. Wait,
the robot was like, yeah. So yeah, and AI is not perfect, but it's a hell of a time saver. You throw it in there and you go, well, that doesn't make sense, but that's a good point. Let me expand on that, and it'll give you a few takeaways. We'll do Jasper next because that's my favorite AI tool. Everybody's talking about ChatGPT, but I think Jasper is really the winner personally. But we can do that on another. We can have that battle on another episode, but. The transcript is everything. It's like Anthony said, you can make so much content from the transcript. It's super important. And then the other thing is when you put it on your website, right? Because you really should be creating a blog post, from your transcription.
That's another thing I forgot to mention. Yes.
Right. And really, like, there's plugins out there that, will connect to your RSS feed and your WordPress site and automatically create a blog post. And then all you need to do is go in there and add your YouTube video and add your transcription. But what I see most people make the mistake of is they add a button that says download the transcription here, which is fine, except you don't get any on-page SEO value from it being a link on your database. You need to actually copy and paste the transcription itself at the end of your blog post. So it's annoyingly long. But number one, it makes it more accessible, which is important with ADA compliance. Number two, it gives you on-page SEO, and you can't beat that, because if you do an episode like right now, we're talking about Riverside, we're talking about Trint, we're using all these words over and over: transcription, SEO, content, written content. All those words are going to be in this transcription, which, like, if people are Googling those things, they might end up on our website, on our podcast page, because they want to hear us talking about it, because they're Googling those terms. So you really can't underestimate the importance of the transcription and that SEO content, because at the end of the day, all content is SEO. The only reason why we make content is for people to find us. And so if we don't make that content searchable, then they can't find us. You're just making the content. It's the field of dreams. You built it, but they ain't coming because they don't know about it and they can't find you, right? Nowadays, if it wasn't on GPS, people be like, I don't know where that field is, but I'm going to Wawa instead, or whatever. Just because you built it doesn't mean they're coming. But the transcription is like a cheat code to pulling, like you said, social media quotes. The fact that you can search inside of Trint, that is amazing, right? Because if you want to put just a quick timestamp of when the lightning rounds started, sure, you could scan through and try to find it, or you could just type in lightning round and then it'll pop up. Like, it's all about
even
time.
if I miss an edit, maybe not like in the final one, because we don't make those mistakes. Come on now. But like if I go through my pre-edit and I'm like, I remember this being an issue, but I can't remember what the timestamp was because I maybe just blanked during the recording. I pop it in the Trint, the raw audio, and I'm just like, I remember they were talking about this. Boom, find it, and you can hit play on Trint. It starts playing the audio through, and then boom, there's that edit from this timestamp. I go through and I can re-edit and go from there.
Right, and you're not going to remember everything. We think that we remember everything, but we really don't. We do episodes here, and at the end of it, we're like, wait a minute, who did we mention? What did we talk about? And if you forget about that, you're leaving, like, let's say we talked about somebody super famous, and we're going to put that in the metadata. Like, we're going to put that in the show description. We're going to maybe make a chapter. Like, if you talked about somebody famous, if you mentioned some big company that's related to what you're talking about, you're going to put that in there, and it's going to increase people's ability to find you. And you may forget that, oh yeah, we went off topic there for 5 minutes, but talks about how this thing applies to Pepsi. Well, put Pepsi in the freaking metadata.
Right. Exactly. It matters. That's how we're going to do an episode about YouTube and TubeBuddy, but it's the same thing. People putting up videos and not putting tags on it. That's literally how they find you. Like, nobody can find you if you don't put the tags on it. Like, your content is unsearchable. So all of it matters. Like, that metadata, that's what they call it. All the words, right, associated with your podcast, whether it's the transcription, the show notes, the key takeaways, all that stuff. That's what they call it, metadata, right?
I Brooklynized it.
That's
just a minute ago.
That's what'd you call it?
I just said it with an accent.
Oh, I love it.
A minute ago. The metadata. I put the metadata on there. Oh, so I apologize.
Hey,
yes, metadata is what I meant to say. Sorry.
I like your version better. It's so much better. It's cleaner. But anyway, well, we're getting close to the end of our show here, and we like to keep them short and sweet. But yeah, use the transcription if you can, even if you feel like you're overwhelmed and you don't have the budget to hire somebody else. A company like Trint. Oh, and by the way, we didn't even talk about the cost of Trint. And this is one of the things that drew me to them. It's $75 a month for unlimited transcriptions. Like, I don't know if you guys have priced out Rev, but I got a quote for like $500 from like one podcast one time. Like, it does not make any sense. And so for a company, if you're doing one podcast a month, then Trint is not the right one for you, right? Then maybe you do it on Riverside or something else, right? But if you're somebody that's doing multiple transcriptions, or you own a business and you do it for other people, or you're a podcast manager, $75 unlimited is really solid. Everybody's got their hand in your pocket. People like to charge by the hour, by the word, by the minute. So I love the unlimited usage for a very reasonable rate. Because, Lord knows, as a business owner, one of our biggest expenses is all these subscriptions that we pay for every month. Seriously. And so having one that doesn't change too, so we know what it's going to be every month, is great, because we might send 50 in one month, we might send 10 in another, right? But we're getting our money's worth. So I think from a cost standpoint and a functionality standpoint, especially that Google Drive integration, it might seem like such a silly thing, but when you're tracking labor hours, it's not so silly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, shout out to Trent. And again, not a paid advertisement, whatsoever. We've never even spoken to anybody at Trint. We've never even
No, we
contacted their customer service because we've never needed to. I signed up for it. My card gets charged every month, and that's it. So this is literally not a paid advertisement whatsoever. We just really like them, and we appreciate their service. And the fact that we haven't ever had to contact them, I feel like that says a lot.
It's
in
a
itself.
very good
that
thing.
says a lot.
Yeah. So on that note, transcribe those podcast kids and get that content out there. Let the Google machine do the work for you. Make sure your content is searchable and available to people who are looking for it, because that's the whole thing. That's the whole name of the game with content creation and content marketing is visibility and searchability. So on that note, sign up for Trint. We don't have an affiliate link or anything, but maybe they'll send us one. And Trint, if you're listening, hey, if you want to sponsor us, we will send you the transcriptions, no problem. So take care. Keep your hands and feet in the bus, and let's head on down to the whitewater rafting station and really have some fun.
Ooh, what a hell of a day right there.
Produced by Heartcast Media.